okay, last week Friday, story I made bro. Make 31st of October 2025 from Nigeria. O China story no. And I'm so Emma just a baba will be and the Mavis MFA Jaba. Our no so called school. Our Mawuko senior high and all girls school. Or no so and the Diaba betwabonte concerning the experience. Just for having a school nimo. I'm out for comments nimo. A one very very interesting. A bit more to say Lydia Forson and you create a popular TikToker. And so the omwano atom commonimo. I Exp0ses. Mesro, so be me a subscribe button so no click the notification icon so. No I don't follow you your Facebook, your Instagram, your also our Twitter at gossip24.com and gossip24 TV. Feel free to so bet you your comment section. Now I share videos so I'm out for so in your biahe. Eti go straight to the story. Eti so back last week Friday, I mean 31st of October 2025. And I'm going to share a story be just say a year from Nigeria. A happy year in the year 2018. Name of Justice I am survey in 2018. No 18 announcement story now so a poppy a be my story ni na no. If I call na we di infedum yesa and di any ochana ehon ade so ochana. Okwatena ne auntie enchen e ma che say ne auntie kunu ene ne auntie babema ene no edida daye amade so moye ochana basainti no in the year 2018 oyare ye ma ne tua na no mo nsedo ba answer no becha na no mo nsedo no na wa confess say ne auntie kunu ena afi so ne auntie babema ena de so moye no sa e ma de so nya yare a enam so nti no odi tua na no e wo nsedo a police for che ne auntie kunu ne auntie ne ebabema no asem no eba beda ne asem bi ade so moto edi free court no mo ye beka ne say foolish case ena asem no ebeda ne ye intina Ghana fo bi no mo ka ho asem ena nam so ma babawa anidi edi Mavis MFA Zaba enso edi ne dia ba beto abonten say ono oko school wo Mawuko just say man oko SS no so edi ifedu mi ensasa na ori SS in the year 2017 no na we di ifedu song sam radio wako KNUS ewie ama de say wako piem wo China ama wa ye the masters kwa wo China ewie a o ye eduma wo China na o China story a we be hu social media so amana kai na asem bi ma no wo Mawuko no nti answer na o hye ne nsem kan na se no na de say odi duabo na ma papa bi a no ye the teacher e wo Mawuko senior high school honum ti duabo no.
Today I'm going to share my story. Mr. Krakani, if you are listening to this, I pray. I don't want you to die. No, I don't want you to die. I want you to suffer. I want you to be very miserable. I don't want your family, your wife, or your children to suffer because of your deeds. I want you to feel every pain. I want you to be paralyzed with a sickness that you would suffer for the rest of your life. But I want you to live a very long life so that you can go through it. Honestly.
Eti teacher ya baba we e say duabo yi na e ma no yi. E teacher ni a ye tra na o Mawuko senior high school honomo. This in di Mr. Krakani, Mr. Ebenezer nyame na domara kwa. Ono e na che say ababa we e say duabo yi e ma na Mr. Krakani. E na ababa we e tra. No ya I say o senior housemaster. Ewo Mawuko honomo. This Mr. Krakani obi amanfo mpuno amanfo fere no say amanfo fa ne ntu fom and for Mr. Krakani ntu fom o Mawuko.
Where there is this teacher called Mr. Krakani. Mr. Krakani was the head housemaster, if I would put it that way. He was not living on campus with us. Mind you, Mawuko Girls is an all-girls senior high school. And all the teachers on campus with the ladies or with the girls were female teachers. I could mention a few. There was Madam Lydia, I don't know the others, Madam Delight, Lady Gaga, and yes, that's all I can remember. So those were the teachers on campus with us. And then Mr. Krakani was the head teacher because he had access to, I think, the plants or something. So if there was power outage, he comes to make sure the generator is turned on. If there is water issues, he comes to make sure it's fixed. He made sure the school was kept clean and all of that. So because of that gesture or because of his responsibilities, he was deemed as one of the respected and honorable men on campus. That's why I believe he was given the head teacher title.
No ababa wane so nyew nipa hunu bi akeke. In fact se ba ne economics or Mawuko senior high school hon obi adi adanse so ye the best economic student Mawuko uko bisa ni sia ne record da hɔ nom.
Or Wasi, and we were preparing, and I had just one last paper to write, which was economics. Mind you, in economics, in my whole school, I was considered one of the best economics students. In my class, I think the best economics students were from my class, general arts class. That was Alice and I. And funny enough, Alice was my assistant class rep, and I was the class rep. So we were the best economic students overall in the school. So let's put that fact aside.
Na mom dakro. Na omo tro wasi no. Aka ne final paper economics a cheso betro. And Mr. Krakani ehun no kasa. O papa so person no kasa wo. Won say school mu di o papa so person no kasa na say Mr. Krakani and e be ye call yi ama o papa ene wakasa. It's end your call Mr. Krakani no office. And the papa go kasa about plans say after say what show ne paper na wie no. Ne sister e ba be fa no. Ene de kaka ho. Sound common on the papa ko di ye no. And Mr. Krakani suggested to no ababa one say oh now they cry na won't na ho ha. So want to be cry ho ha. And one on common shall say free.
Just leaving the next day, I saw Mr. Krakani on campus and I greeted and whatever. And he told me, oh, your dad wants to speak to you and whatever. I had no idea that my dad had made these plans. Mind you, we had spoken about it, but we had not really finalized. So I didn't really know the plans of my dad. So I said, okay, and I followed Mr. Krakani to his office to speak to my dad because that is the usual. We go to his office, he calls our parents, and then we speak to our parents. So after speaking with my dad, he gave me the rundown that my sister and her husband would be picking me up from school, and then they'll be taking me home right after my economics paper. So that means that I have to clear myself from school the very day I finish my economics so that the next morning I'll be out of school. So I finished the call with my dad, and then Mr. Krakani started engaging me in a conversation. He was like, oh, why don't you stay longer in Ho? You know, you have an auntie here. And I was, at first, it didn't even dawn on me. Yes, I do have I did have an auntie in Ho. I'm speaking in the past because she's late, and rest in peace to her. But at that time, it had not even crossed my mind, and I was wondering how he even knew that. But I just assumed that my dad probably mentioned it to him, so that's why he knows my auntie is in Ho. And he was like, why don't I stay with my auntie in Ho so he can show me around? Like, it's not good that I've come to the city, I don't know anywhere, and whatever. And mind you, I didn't grow up in Ho, so the only route I know in Ho is the route from my auntie's house to my school.
Sana Mr. Krakani ne boss an komoni na no. O wono agasa na dream ti oni akola ne boss an komo no. Now, according to Mavis, MFA Jabano, or Chemu say, and one of Mr. Krakani, SHS or Puccino, what Mr. Krakani did not know, be ready, Nimanisa.
We agreed on that, and then from nowhere, Mr. Krakani started walking towards me. I was seated on one of the tables, you know, in this teachers' offices, in the tables, they have like books of students and all of that there, and normally we sit on the table while the teachers sit on their desk or on their chair with their desk and computer and all of that. As I was ready to get up and leave, he was approaching me, so I was a bit confused, and he was talking, and while he was approaching me, he kept saying, it's not good that you come to the city, that is Ho, you come to Ho, and then you don't know the environment, you don't move around, like you don't know anywhere, at least explore around or stay with your auntie, then I can show you around. While he's saying all of this, he is approaching me, and then from nowhere, suddenly, I will not call it kissing, I don't know what it is, but his mouth was all over me. And I don't know if you are listening, those who know Mr. Krakani, he has a very big mouth. Yes, his mouth was all over me, saliva on my face. And in that moment, the only thing I could do was I had to fold my lips and press my lips inside like this.
Oh, no, Mr. Krakani the inside. Ni baby. Just no so no checking one. Atari o se no nya atari bia was Mr. Krakani no. E kondo no. Na Mr. Krakani no. E ya bi otaye to the extent say the more no ababa wani nya okwan kakra no. And say Mr. Krakani ni yes okoto ni window ni mu ni louvers no okoto because se school nkwala ni twam am no mo say Mr. Krakani abia ni window no munim say senior housemaster e wo ho. Na mo say watom a ya girl school say watom a obi anim so ni won ti okotom. Na say we nya privacy. Now, based on no Baba wanted your dream, Mr. Krakani to me no.
Say all that he dipped his hand in my pants. I was wearing a sports jersey. Those sports jersey we wear in primary school, like the PE kits. That's what I was wearing. And you know the PE kits are big. It's not like anything tight that you'd be like, oh, you're seducing him. What? First of all, I'm a child. Second of all, I'm in a uniform. whether it's a PE kids or whatever, it's still a school uniform. I was still in a school uniform. It's not like I even had braids on or nothing, no lash, no nothing. So what would a 40-something-year-old man see in a small girl like me? And I bet on it that I was not the only one he ever did that thing to. Because if he was bold enough to do such thing to me, I mean, he probably did it to other girls. Anyway, I digress. So while he was doing that, he left me to go and close the window. So the door is on my right and then the window is on my left. So normally, we the students use the window as an indicator that he is in the office or not. So if the window is open, we know that he is there and we can come there. But if it's closed, we know he's not around. So I'm probably positive that he went to close the window so that he could have some privacy. Unbeknownst to him, when he went to close the window, I ran.
Now, so what's your baba wana? It was at that moment, and to me now, quite, oh, Johnny. Oh, Jana, Mr. Krakani, Kachan is say, MFA, walk.
So I just heard, MFA, walk. So he said, MFA, walk. And then that's when I realized, wait, I'm running. So I stopped and I slowed down and I walked. And I know that he told me to walk because he didn't want people asking me questions.
Throughout that period, to timer, or more year prep near, That is no once, just say, now for you know, so I but signs now for Bisepsano. Say, MFA, are you okay? MFA, you okay? MFA, you okay? I did your Mawuko economics. In the panel, general council, air supervisor, no. I am Mr. Krakani. No, I said, baby, Jina Honomo. Are you okay, MFA? No, I said, baby, Jina Honomo. Is everything all right, MFA?
Well, that was not like the worst thing that had happened to me. Okay. The worst part was the next day or the next morning, we had economics. And then the economics paper we wrote it in the big hall because economics, general arts did economics, accounting did economics. And general arts is like a very, very wide range of arts, right? So we wrote in the big hall, and the kicker of that is he supervised my portion of the hall. I don't know if it was intentional, but he stood right on top of me. Like I was literally under his nose. He stood right on top of me, and every little minute he come and ask me, are you okay? Is everything okay? First of all, I couldn't even study for the paper. Second, I couldn't even concentrate to write the little that I know.
I tell you, I'm for TMFA story, no. And I'm business and MFA. It told me born my mama near Dakokra because me at this point, what story near do salve window. Maybe say na MFA born my mama near Kra Dako. MFA see Debbie went to me about my near. No, so in fact, I was story in the mono. MFA Gasaka will say, oh, when you say, Mr. Krakani status here or community in the morning school in the morning and there no. There was nowhere no be a beginning. No be to me.
At the time, I didn't think it was the brightest idea to open up or tell someone about this because this man is a political figure, I think, because I think he was running for MP or some ministerial position or something of that sort. And everybody sees this man as a prestigious man, like a hardworking man, educated man, a devoted man to the community and all of that. And then if you say something bad about him, it's more of like, oh, you are trying to tarnish his image and then he's trying to do a good work in the society and you are coming to lie on this man, this, that. So all those things were going through my mind and I was so scared.
So because we say me comment me say, when to me about what big sister cry man when to me I can't tell what big sister bo. MFA see baby. The real cry baby says, Mavis, when you na see and one boy a man earlier. Mavis, how far side number when you na and one boy a man earlier. When to me I can't sister yes you cry one to me a boy a man Mavis say to me I'm born my man now it's true. It's a pama for comment through. Mawuko girls, Mr. Krakani. Yenim no. Oh, MFA. Mawuko girls, Mr. Krakani. Yenim no English teacher of English. Yenim no. Yenim Mr. Krakani. Yatiti rumors. Where essay? SSC. Mavis. Kusa the offer mundi offer sorry. Because yatiti rumors about Mr. Krakani. Nana yenjindi na de okay ama you says ha na edokre. Ama de say sesame amenya crowd beto say I have heard the rumors but I thought they were just rumors. MFA say yes. Or they yes with exclamation marks. Eto one say yes Mr. Krakani. Rumors na mo tie no kre. And Amanda ebetwe say Mr. Krakani. There be no rag girls dormitory. Oh announcing we ewura ho. I ne so boy inspection. Ni na ne so a senior housemaster. All the more senior housemaster we ewura girls dormitory. No, kai say one time be Mr. Krakani bad hono ma no chase dom no o chase you out of the dom. Omo nyina adwane ye. Na no hye sebe bra ne piotope. and okita uniform and Johnny. Owie Mawuko no in 2015. Now they say Amanda or your MFani senior. Now so na Mr. Krakani or Brown which channel obo school mo no. It's ye queer e baby say part 2 please but mama part 2 no. And Alice ekwa troye e ma equia say equia we a big TikToker. Mavis di because on also Alice no or school or Mawuko hono. Every prep bia no mu Mr. Krakani so these students are walking in and out of the office. Or person about girl be dimple. And no person on everybody in that video so everybody or say girl be wo hono na friend Bridget. No a compound overseer. The bia on name ma for ko Mr. Krakani ho. The bia or ko Mr. Krakani ho. O on no be twema so sia o Mr. Krakani ho. Sana Mr. Krakani e wo de no on Bridget eh. And I just say, Masa, Mr. Krakani we free Mawuko. Sisi on child wo hono mu biom. Sisi on send any baby Mr. Krakani wo. But opese omo bringing Mr. Krakani to justice. Into your no faith the we posting Mr. Krakani picture and me posting the picture I see. Now west part no and he say Mr. Krakani worry September year na Mr. Krakani e worry na Mr. Krakani no say bibi wo no ma also to me take accountability for the actions. No da Mavis as a pa say Mavis say to me a bold that babonte I can't sem no. Mr. Krakani wedding is 27th of September year and no worry na Mavis koda e fetase. So hope say other girls that Mr. Krakani yomosa no ombetumi aba abonte no me speak up. Ombetumi aba abonte no me speak up. And Lydia Forson e call comment no mo e call try say masa say jafo ni bebre na omo yes hade no mo sheda. Omo sheda na omo atwen na we do time obebe throw last paper ewie na wa coffee ni ade na omo sheda yes ah because omo believe say that time dey na bia wonye students biom unya kwan twa kwan ba school ni mo ni ade nti no ma sheda ya osa ne sa e yo momodo soprandi sa no mudi operate it is enkomo ho kwan kom be share a lot of stories na Mavis called Lydia Forson ase say Lydia da was so ade voice to asem way on the other colleagues e kasae almost share similar stories na sa mema no mo yesa no omo ye evil na ko for sister Lydia who opposition obetumi aye bibi dia fasa asem me ho ade voice say ne be ya nkwalai any school for nkwalai omo ma testimony ni ade no ombetumi a get justice. Exp0ses. I just hope, say, if indeed Mr. Krakani fi Mawuko, yes, is here no chadie or one of the Mawu schools, and also a woho. Say indeed, so no more that's why a teacher of English. And I said, I can't say English teacher now. Now say indeed, they may say, kind of Mr. Krakani, yeah. He should be ashamed of himself. And perhaps I think say it is time I also GS it put it in place. Measures are ebema school kola regardless of the agenda. Say mbema and I say ma I'll go through these ordeal no. Ombetumi aba bonte. No money GS provide counselors are you bet me trust you more and yes systems are a best suppressing kola nemum ma nkwala nye confidence in the system say na be nkwala ne betumi aka omonsem dia tremo. And I hope say the betumi ama investigations are transparent so no and say e bia school bia no senior high school bia no, at least we introduce CCTV cameras because see there are lots of schools in other countries elsewhere, there are CCTV cameras almost every vantage point, right? Almost savvy footages no on the cloud near there. And can Mavis akasan same way no. Say Mavis sky da or true. Your friend is saying the economics paper no area any idea the last day or true the economics paper near there. Mbetumi akọ CCTV footages file nimo. Mwaka koshe sampa Mavis call Mr. Krakani office. Ampa Mavis score anytime when you pay no na. If these things check out, you'll be able to punish Mr. Krakani if he is still in the service. But now, all Mr. Krakani has to do, no, and he say, obey deny, and then this becomes a foolish case. But I hope, say, moving forward, measures should be put in place so that people are a beer or more committed the same offense as what Mavis accused and I say or alleged say Mr. Krakani no. These measures, if put in place, they will be able to hold them accountable and be made to face the consequences. Yes, it's about time. I had Gossips 24, and I feel sorry for anyone who go through whatever during high school days, junior high school, primary school, university days. I feel sorry for you, and I hope, you find closure somewhere, because the system, there are a lot of loopholes in our system. People get away with some of these things all the time, and I hope, people are brought to book if the systems are fixed or patched one way or the other. Otherwise, all we can do is tell the story, share the stories, and no justice. Something has to be done. I Gossips 24. Magraheb.